Being a new girl on Top Gear, I was expecting to start at the bottom, while the boys were out driving very fast, very expensive totty magnets. Well, you know what? Girls like to drive fast too. This is the Venturi Atlantique. It's 3 litres, it's V6, it's turbocharged. And it's very naughty.
To justify my love, hoping, praying for you to justify my love.
281 brake horsepower, yes please. Venturi is a small French company with a strong racing pedigree. It builds just 250 of these fiberglass-bodied Atlantiques each year. And when you're only making such a small number, the car has to be successful. It costs £60,000. You could buy a nice little place in Normandy for that. So, what do you get for your money?
I don't want to be your mother.
Turbo nutters will love this. I do. Put your foot down and the turbo spins into action, thrusting you forward at a gigglesome pace. That noise, I tell you, is so intoxicating. It's right behind your ear. It's just wonderful.
That's right. Kiss me.
The steering's really heavy at parking, but at speed it becomes spot on, which is exactly what you need, so you always know what's going on underneath.
Yearning.
The Venturi could be seen as a poor man's Ferrari, but that's probably being a bit unfair. OK, you don't get a badge with a horse on it, but you do get a gorgeous-looking car which is crying out to be driven hard, and it's very eager to please. Oh, ho, ho! Oh, I could do this all day. Get your heart out, Tiff. Inside, the car has a distinctly aristocratic air. But if you feel that a wood-panelled dash is all a bit sedate and gentlemanly for a car that can top 170 miles an hour and go from 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds, then you can opt for a much tartier carbon fibre look. The gearbox is nice too, even though it's got a long throw for a car of this type. It's very, very direct.
We can fly.
With every inch of this car screaming speed and sophistication, I find it unbelievable that they haven't fitted airbags. And while I'm at it, I want to get niggly. The doors don't actually fit flush when they're shut, and when they are shut, you can't adjust the seat backs. And this big thing gets right in your way at roundabouts, and you can't see what's coming. Build quality and reliability are without doubt the major question marks over the Atlantique. Previous Venturis haven't always stood up to the rigours of everyday life when thrown onto the streets to fend for themselves. And there isn't a dealership on every street corner, so when things go wrong, and it seems likely they could, you'll need deep pockets and a good road atlas. So, get a rich friend to buy one, and then just borrow it every now and then. Take it to a friendly race circuit, and I promise that you'll have a great time. But if you're too chicken to venture out in a Venturi, try this for size. Can I interest you in the new 6-speed Honda NSX? Unlike Venturi, Honda has a reputation for reliability, which has won it more OAP fans than Jimmy Young. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but the NSX is no bath chair. It's very fast, very sexy, and definitely X-rated. The most wonderful thing about this car is that it behaves like a pussycat around town, never complaining or giving you grief when you're just tootling along. But then when you need to pick up some speed, or you want to pin your passengers into the plush of the seats, it's got all the venom you need. This £70,000 rascal wants to be your friend. You don't need 10 years racing experience to handle it. Point it at a corner and it excels. Beautifully balanced with enough grunt to see you clear in moments. But if you know what you're doing, switch off the traction control and let it rip. fantastic thing about this car is its VTEC engine. Get it over about 5,000 revs and it suddenly comes into its own and hits you with a massive roar. The dash is a zillion miles away from the Civic, so there's too much to take in really with all the dials and gadgets. However, the gear lever has a wonderful short throw to it, and the nose of the car is so squashed that I feel like I'm right up in the screen and in the action. The all-aluminium Honda is very similar in performance to the Venturi, a top speed of just over 170 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. So, a stonkingly fast car that you can drive in complete comfort. Sounds perfect, but therein lies the problem. This is a high-performance car and I want to be involved. Trouble is, it's just too civilized. The steering is a little remote and the ride isn't hard enough. I want to feel the speed, but it just doesn't happen. So, you've got £70,000 to spend. Lucky you. If you rule by your head, take the NSX. It's extremely reliable, phenomenally fast, and even your granny can drive it around town. But if you want to set your pants on fire, take the Venturi. You'll even have 10 grand left to buy your bloke a little run around for the shopping.